Now, I was in the mental institute twice, and in between, I went home and it didn't last, and I ended up going to some group homes, just three, before I end up back into Stormont Vale and then back to the mental institute for the rest of the time until I got out when I was 17. Now, those uh, foster homes, uh, one of them really sucked. The first one that I went to was a town close by here called Linden, and the family was like, I don't know, they weren't Amish. I don't know, Midnights or something like that. I ended up going to church. I was only there for 3 days, but we went to church every single day, and you had to work, and it was hard. I wasn't used to that. So I'm out there doing this stuff that they want me to do, like, clean up wood and uh, take branches and big, well, not big trees, but little trees, and move them from one pile to another, and then deal with hay and stuff like that. And I was exhausted. They had a wife and a husband and two girls, two daughters, and a son. The two girls were always flirtive, and I was young and they were my age, and they were like, get on my arms and stuff like that, trying to talk to me constantly. You could tell that they had a crush on me. I didn't mind. I just didn't really want to be there, though. And the rules were, if you didn't work, you didn't get to eat. And on the third day, I refused to work. I was tired of it, and I didn't get to eat, unfortunately. Also, the other thing that bothered me was uh, in the downstairs in the I slept in the son's bedroom, and I slept on a cot, which is like six legs, and it's the width of you. So if you try to turn over, it's like a bitch, and it was uncomfortable, and I didn't like it. And the worst part was at nighttime, that kid masturbated every day that I was there. All 3 nights that I was there, he did it. Yeah, it was pitch dark, quiet, nothing playing in the background, and so I could hear everything he was doing. He was and moaning and stuff, and I'm just going like, in my mind, how could you be doing this when I'm in your room? Are you getting off that I'm actually there? I don't know. I was glad to get out of there. I didn't enjoy that foster home at all. Then I ended up going to Ottawa and went to a foster home. They had nothing but girls, and I was the only boy there. And I tell you what, it was awesome. It really was awesome. And I remember when I went with them to, they went to go meet up with their boyfriends, and they took me with them. And the guys were watching Rocky movie. It was the one where Rocky is fighting Mr. T, which I liked him, but it was amazing to see him in there, and that fight to me was amazing. I'll never forget that. So I remember exactly where I was, sitting on that couch watching that while they were making out, the girls and the guys, watching that Rocky movie. It was awesome. Mr. T is badass. But anyway, that only lasted for a week. And what happened was, on the last day, or the day before the last day, I complained. I didn't, really bitch or nothing, but I complained because their conditioner made my hair fall down. At that time in my life, I actually was curling my hair and blow drying it. And so, my hair was feather back. I had a mullet, this was the 80s, I had feather back hair. And I just said, I wish I didn't have to go to school. I said like that. I really wish I didn't have to go to school because my hair looks terrible. But I went anyway, and when I came back, I was removed. And they told me it was because of that. But the girls, man, they were awesome. I mean, they changed in front of me. I saw their boobs. Didn't see their bottom part, but it was just like I was one of the girls. And they didn't flirt with me. Well, they kind of flirted, but didn't touch me. They had boyfriends. But I got to tell you, I wish I could have stayed there because that was awesome. The food was great. School was great. That little bit of school I had for a week. And the girls were great. But the mother of those, or whatever you want to call her, she was not very nice. Then the last place I went to, that was in Lawrence. And this was a group home. And it had boys and girls. But anyway, I got into an argument with one of the staff members, and I ended up leaving. I ran away, and the cops found me in that same day. brought me back, and so he gave me like 2 hours of chair time. And after sitting there for like an hour, it was like hurting my ass, and I didn't want to stay there anymore. So I was like, I'm going to get up. And he goes, well, if you do, you're going to get more time. And he would throw on 30 minutes at a time. And so we're going back and forth, and he keeps adding time. So I getting up to like 4 hours sitting in the chair. And I said, forget this, I'm going to leave. And he goes, well, go ahead. They'll just bring you back, and you're going to get more chair time. And so I said, oh, well, whatever. And so I went across, I left. I went across the street, and I started thinking, I was right across the street. I'm thinking like, wow, he's right. They're going to just bring me back. So I went back in, so I was only gone for not even 2 minutes. And he goes, he added the more time. He added an hour, actually. And I said, man, I just went across the street. I should have just kept going. And he goes, go ahead. And he goes, you know what? I'm going to put you in the mental institute. And I said to him, no, I've already been there. I'm not going to go back. And he goes, I put other people there. I said, I haven't done anything to have to go back to a place like that. And so anyway, I said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm leaving. And I left. And I ran away. And I was gone for several hours. And the police found me. And it really sucked, too, because I was trying to change things up. I took off my shirt, left my pants on. I took my glasses off. And unfortunately, the police went right in front of me. And I was looking in a different direction. And I actually ran into the police car. And I didn't have my glasses on, so I had them in my pants pocket. So anyway, I got arrested, or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't arrested. They just took me in. And they told me that I was going to be there for, overnight. And so I was. And this really sucked because they didn't take me back like they did before. So anyway, the next morning, I'm getting in the police car, and I'm thinking I'm going to be going back to that group home. Nope. They're sitting there talking among themselves, and they started mentioning Stormont Vale. And I'm going like, what's going on? And they said that's where they're taking me. And I said, I've been there before. I said, like, I don't get it. Why would you do that? And they said that the guy said that I tore up the place and that they saw it. The chair was pushed over and all this stuff. That is not what happened. I just walked out and left. I said the word fuck, but I left, and that's it. I was not yelling at the man because I was a kid. I'm not going to do that. I might run away, but I'm not going to sit there and go up against an adult and get my ass kicked, handed to me. So it dawned on me. He was right. He does put people in the mental institute by lying. And he did. He lied. Everything that they said, that I tore up things, and they saw it. I didn't do it. So that means when I left, he tore it up. I was so pissed, and I end up, after Stormont Vale, right back in the mental institute. So he was right. And, if I had known, I would have changed that. If I could go back in time and change it. Just do the damn 2 hours in the chair, even though my ass was hurting. But he won. And he did it by lying. See, who they going to believe? The kid who's already been in the mental institute, or the adult? They're going to believe them. But I'm telling you, I swear to God that I just walked out. That's it. I didn't touch anything. I didn't threaten. I didn't do nothing. Oh, they also said that I threatened to get violent with him. And I did not. I wouldn't do that. So anyway, that's my experience with the group homes and foster homes. They sucked except for one. The one with all the girls. There was like 6 girls. All right. That's it on this. It's just me keeping it real.